Welcome friends, today I am going to do a review of the Nikon D5600 camera. Why Nikon D5600 camera in the year of 2018? Because it is one of the best multi-purpose DSLR you can have right now in the Nikon lineup. Also, it is one of the best package you are getting for the price you are paying right now. Nikon D5600 DSLR, it is one of the best option to have or to start your photography career with. It is one of the best mid-range DSLR available right now. But I am doing the review of Nikon D5600 camera today. So I am going to talk about the pros and cons of the camera, the things I like and the things I don't like about the camera. I am going to share my shooting experience with you right here right now. Now before we begin, do consider subscribing our channel because it helps a lot and it creates a bond between you and me. Now let's begin the review of Nikon D5600 camera. Now let's begin our review with the design of the camera. The design of the camera is super perfect. It looks very compact. At the same time, the hand grip of the camera is just awesome. It takes all your fingers very comfortably and it is so easy to handle. You can hold this camera for hours without having any physical pain in your hand. So it is just an awesome camera. And on the rear side, we have a VARI-ANGLE or fully articulating display screen that gives you compositional freedom. So what's more you want in a DSLR camera? That's a perfect mid-range camera to start your journey. Design wise, this is an awesome camera. Now let's talk about my shooting experience with Nikon D5600 camera and how much I am impressed with this camera. Now we all know every DSLR camera, Canon or Nikon, have two different modes. One, shooting through the viewfinder, which I generally prefer. Shooting through the viewfinder gets the phase autofocus module activated and you are using the phase AF module of the DSLR. Now again, while you are shooting with the live view or looking at the display screen, or you can say the mirrorless mode, the contrast based autofocusing system of the camera gets activated. So I am going to talk about both. I have used both. I am going to share my experience with you. I am going to start with the viewfinder experience, shooting through the viewfinder of the camera, which I have a habit of. Now this camera is just awesome. The 39-point autofocusing system works very fast. It is fast as well as reliable. It locked down AF in literally no time and you just have to click on the subject. So while pressing the shutter, I literally feel nothing like autofocusing and all that. It just bangs on subject. It just locked down the AF in no time. So the 39-point AF system that I have used inside this camera is best in its class. Of course, I have used many Canon DSLR mid-range or entry level. At the same time, among Nikon mid-range DSLR, the 39.4800 AF module that Nikon is using in this DSLR is just awesome to have, and one of the best thing you have ever used. Now let's talk about the shooting through live view mode. Now how to activate the live view shooting? You have to just pull this live view lever towards yourself and the live view mode will going to activate it. I am going to show you right now. Now to activate the live view mode, you have to just pull this trigger back and the live view mode is activated. I am going to give you a demo how fast the autofocusing system of this camera is. You have to just click on the subject, the favorite one, and the camera will going to snap that. So it is of course fast and reliable. For young generation of shooters, those who prefer live view display while capturing anything, this is one of the best camera to have all the time because it is fast even at live view mode. Even when using contrast based autofocusing system, the camera does AF very well. You have to just touch the subject you want to click and the camera will going to capture the subject. So it is of course one of the best camera to have. Again, the camera is giving you a touch screen, so you have no problem in navigating the menus or jumping off here and there. Now let's talk about the image quality of the camera. Now without having any optical low pass filter, the 24 megapixel sensor inside it with an ISO rating of 25600 gives you an amazing picture. The dynamic range of this camera, at the same time the low light performance of this camera is just amazing. I have seen many images. The images are super sharp and even at zooming it to 100%, you are getting all the details you want to see in an image. So a camera based on low passless architecture is just a blessing to have, and Nikon make this kind of camera. So it is just an awesome camera, a sensor without any optical low pass filter, a 39-point autofocusing module, phase AF module, and a very decent and reliable contrast based autofocusing system in the live view mode. All these things make a very pleasant still shooting experience with the Nikon D5600 camera. Now let's talk about the other feature. If you are a sports shooter, this camera gives a continuous frame rate of 5 frames per second. At the same time, you are also getting 3D autofocus tracking. If you are a sports shooter, then it is the best camera to start with. Now again, if you need faster frame rates, then move towards the Nikon D7500 or D500 camera. But at the end, it is one of the best camera to start your photography journey. Now this was my shooting experience, still shooting experience with this camera. Let's talk about the video mode of the camera. Now let's start the video review of the Nikon D5600 camera. I have flipped up my camera and now I am using the Nikon D5600 camera for creating this video. Now you can see for yourself, you can feel for yourself how well this camera performs while creating a YouTube video. Now I have created several YouTube videos with this camera because the camera is using contrast based autofocusing system, so you may feel sometimes the lens is hunting for focus and which is visible in the output mode, and which is of course not good for YouTube, a professional YouTube video. Now let's begin to talk with the specs side of the camera. The camera do offers full HD recording mode. The camera do offers manual control in the video mode. You have a HDMI port. You have a display screen where you can look for yourself how well you are performing in the video, and an option to add an external microphone jack. So it is of course one of the best camera to have or to start your YouTube journey with. But at the same time, the camera is not having system or hybrid autofocusing system in the live view or video mode. So what my opinion is that we may feel some lag or some focus hunting issues while we are creating video with the Nikon D5600 camera. For whom this camera is targeted to? If you are a still shooter, if you are a dedicated still shooter and occasionally create videos, then this is one of the best camera to have, because this camera features class leading phase detect autofocusing system. At the same time, the image quality of this camera is class leading. Now if you are a dedicated YouTube content creator, then my recommendation is to look for a camera that have continuous fast autofocusing system when you are creating a video. For example, the Panasonic GX85 or the Canon 200D, 70D, 80D, the sensor with the DPF systems. So yes, this camera is good for occasional YouTube content creation, but this camera is highly recommended for still shooting purpose. This is of course one of the best camera I have ever used for still shooting purpose in the mid-range DSLR zone. So this was my review of the Nikon D5600 camera. I am going to see you very soon in one of my next video. Thank you for watching this.